Folks, hear me now. We are repeating Q3 and Q4 of 2022. What does that mean for buyers and sellers? It is time to ask for seller concessions. Looks like Redfin just put out a report, and Matt the Mortgage Guy's done 10 to 12 deals. We're going to talk about what's going on. How many folks are getting seller concessions? Mr. Matt the Mortgage Guy, what's going on?
I was surprised with this stat. Thanks for having me, Mike. And I know from my personal business, and I'm in the weeds of it every single day, that back to back to back to back. And I was telling you before we got on, probably 10 of the last 12, some sort of seller concession. And it's really ramping up as, the seasonality of real estate is a real thing. There's less buyers around in September than there were in April and May. There's going to be less demand and buyers in October and November. So if you're a buyer, this should give you a lot of hope.
Mm-hmm.
Year to date, Redfin says that 40% of closings that have closed have had seller concessions. That blew me away because I
40%?
Yeah, I know that number increases the later we go in the year.
That's, it's really, so again, they're, just so I understand the number, they're saying 40% year to date. That's what they're
Correct.
saying.
And granted, I'm moving 100 miles an hour. I'm getting secondhand information. So through my game of telephone, I don't know if I'm missing something, but that was the stat I heard. So I'll verify it. Either way, right now, here we sit in September of 23. I can promise you, because I'm doing business in 48 states.
Mm-hmm.
Go to greatmortgagebroker.com to connect with us. Quick shout there. Seller concessions are being granted, 752 with 17,000 in credit. The latest one we got 12,000 in credit for a 2-1 buy down. The one I can just rattle off my head.
But this is what I want buyers to hear. Right? I've always we're repeating the 2022 playbook, and buyers are disappearing. There are sellers that have to sell. Sometimes getting a seller credit versus a straight up price reduction is better for you, the buyer. Yes, I said it. Getting a $17,000 seller credit, which is real cash, is better than getting a $17K discount. Because if you got a $17K discount, you're still putting a lot of cash into the down payment. You have to understand this. You got to work with professionals. Because again, the seller doesn't care if it's 17 grand off the price or 17K in closing costs. But you, the buyer, you probably do care. That's why people have to work with professionals like you.